fighting there for the legacy, you know.
Yeah.
And I also want to fight. I also want to fight there for the legacy.
How are you
And
getting?
it's just a dream, you know, to be double champ in Madison Square Garden. And he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
Very soon, very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very quick.
It's like he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job at striking. I like how he fights.
Islam Makhachev issued a warning to Jack Della Maddalena ahead of their much-talked-about bout, showing his confidence and intent. Meanwhile, Philip Rowe shared his thoughts on a potential clash between Islam and Jack, siding with JDM. He expressed doubts about Islam's size at welterweight and predicted Jack's striking power and resilience would lead to a finish.
Philip Rowe, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So we'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. I think personally he'll stop Islam.
Moreover, Jack Della Maddalena questioned whether Islam fits into the welterweight class physically. He hinted that Islam might drop back to lightweight and critiqued his striking for being too rigid, saying he sees clear opportunities to exploit.
I think he just seems like a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah. You think he'll stick around at 170, or do you think it's just
I think he'll be one fight, and then he'll probably have to go back down.
because of how it'll go?
Yeah.
How do you see it playing out?
I think I can take him out. I think Bilal really just changes stance. There's a lot walks for, but I think if I can have someone that just stays in the same stance, and I don't think Islam's the very good shot. I think I could land a lot of shots, and I think I could take him out.
Wow.
If I get taken down, I believe I can get back to my feet.
However, Islam Makhachev acknowledged that Jack Della Maddalena would be a tough opponent. He credited Jack for drastically improving his grappling, saying those changes helped him rise to the top ranks. Islam added that the matchup would show who truly belongs at the highest level.
It was a great reign at lightweight. I know you talked a little bit about Jack. What do you think he's going to be a hard fight for you? I know he said he wants to get one back for Alexander Volkanovski here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He is good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved because I see he training a lot. He's the wrestlers, he's the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
Yeah,
very soon.
Yeah.
And it's going very quick.
Islam revealed he dreams of fighting at Madison Square Garden, calling it a historic place where fighters aim for greatness. He said it's about legacy, not just paychecks, and hopes to become champ on that iconic stage.
I asked Dana if we have some opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden. It will be an honor for me, you know, fight in the biggest arena for MMA and boxing, it's for legendary arena, you know. And I will be happy to have the opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you deserve it at least one time, Islam. I know this has been a dream. You've said this before.
Yeah.
And they have other champions they can fight in Abu Dhabi. They have Magomed Ankalaev now, so this is your chance.
Yeah. This is my chance, and I want, you know. I know some of the fighters, boxing fighters, they're not fighting in Madison Square Garden for the money or just for the victory. They're just fighting there for the legacy, you know. Yeah. And I also want to fight. I also want to fight there for the legacy.
How are you getting?
It's just a dream, you know, to be double champ in Madison Square Garden.
Islam also talked about his challenge in gaining size after years of cutting weight. Even with heavy training and strict routines, he's only managed a small increase in muscle, showing his disciplined approach to bulking.
I will try to be big, you know, it's not easy, man. All my life I cut weight, but now when I want to be big, my weight stays same position, you know. I try to lift more. We do some program and slowly we bring 2 kg right now, but I don't want to be big by food, you know, eating and not training. I want to be with muscles, you know. I want to train it and bring some muscles.
Alexander Volkanovski gave his breakdown of the matchup, pointing to Jack's fight with Bilal as key experience. He noted that Jack's improved takedown defense will make it harder for grapplers like Islam to dominate.
Islam Makhachev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Bilal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, there's every fighter's still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, worried about, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. Only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down, and they're going to have a very hard time even holding him down.
Daniel Cormier called the fight high stakes and questioned if Islam's grappling and fight IQ would hold up against a naturally bigger opponent. He also doubted whether Islam has enough time to properly add size for welterweight.
The time is now to become a double champion, which we'll get into here in a second. Obviously, inshallah, let's go. Become a double champion. But you see those guys now already know, hey, we're going to build this thing. We're going to try to make people tune into this thing. They're going to watch regardless. It's a fantastic fight. It's a big-time fight. And if Jack Della looks the way he did last weekend, it's very, very intriguing fight. Because we've never seen Islam Makhachev fight up at 170 pounds. We've never seen it. We've never seen him have to compete up 15 more pounds. Yes, he is a big dude. But in terms of full-on stature, is he big as Jack Della Maddalena is? And also, if he thought he may fight International Fight Week, how small had he gotten? And how much time does he have to put the weight back on the right way before he moves up to 170?
Cormier said the champion versus champion angle makes the matchup exciting, especially with Jack's win over Bilal and Islam moving up. He noted the weight jump adds extra intrigue.
A lot of questions. But it's a big-time fight, and we'll get into the X's and O's as we get closer. But right now, we're talking the story. We're talking about a guy that just beat Bilal Muhammad to become champion, now getting challenged by a 155-pound champion.
Ilia Topuria initially shrugged off the Islam versus Jack fight, stating it wasn't something that interested him or stayed on his radar.
How do you think Islam Makhachev will do at 170 when he fights Jack Della Maddalena?
I don't know. I don't care, to be honest. I never thought about that, so I don't know.
Later, Topuria gave some advice to JDM, saying body attacks could weaken Islam's takedowns. He praised Jack's sharp striking and urged him to focus on that to stop the wrestling threat.
Have any advice for Jack, who might be coming up against Islam Makhachev next?
The advice, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns, and he's doing a great job at striking. I like how he fights.
Charles Oliveira spoke about the stylistic contrast in the matchup. He called Jack a sharp striker who breaks opponents slowly and believes Islam will stick to grappling. For him, the fight depends on whether Jack can resist going to the mat.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é jogo muito complicado, porque ele é cara que ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem te magoando, né?
Aos poucos, né?
Aos poucos. Foi o que ele fez agora na luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar e botar pra baixo é o time.
Dustin Poirier said the fight depends on the early moments. If Islam lands takedowns, he wins. If Jack defends them, his striking and size take over. He added Islam's striking seems awkward because opponents are too focused on the takedown threat.
Do you think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches, because he's going to change levels, so it changes the way you fight. For me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, you know, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight's going to go.
Javier Mendez said Jack Della Maddalena would be a more complex fight for Islam than Ilia Topuria. He highlighted Jack's size and adaptability, saying he brings a trickier skill set and poses a greater challenge to prepare for.
Do you feel like JDM is a trickier puzzle to figure out than a potential fight with an Ilia Topuria? It's interesting because both of those guys, both JDM and Ilia Topuria, they both possess great boxing, right? But they're both kind of tricky puzzles in their own right. Who do you feel like is the trickier puzzle to figure out, JDM or Ilia Topuria?
For me, JDM is the tougher one because of, you know, number one, his size. Number two, he's good everywhere. If it was just boxing, then we don't have to worry as much because JDM's boxing is not as good as Topuria, but overall his kicking, his kneeing, his overall game is very good.
Ali Abdelaziz confirmed that Islam will challenge for the welterweight title this year. He said Jack is currently champion, but if he's sidelined, the UFC will consider the belt vacant and give Islam a new opponent for the title.
When will it happen, Islam and Jack?
Islam fighting for the title this year. The non-interim title. Jack Maddalena is the champion, but if Jack is not available, it will be someone else fighting Islam for the title. That's what the UFC told me. That's what Dana told me. That's what the hunters, everybody said. You know, and that was one of the stipulations. If Islam go up, Jack get injured, and I hope he's healthy, and he seems like he's healthy, this title will be vacated and Islam will fight for welterweight.
Stephen Thompson warned about size issues for Islam at welterweight, noting that many in the division are much heavier, while Islam's grappling remains elite. He mentioned Jack's past success against wrestlers like Bilal Muhammad as a sign of how close the fight could be.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam MAKHACHEV walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, you know, over 205, 210 to 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I mean, I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Bilal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know we've got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.